Hey y'all, it's Miss Hitchcock. I know it's been a while, but today we're going to be talking about the measures of central tendency. Now that sounds funky, but I promise it's really not. Let's talk about some vocabulary. Central tendency, that funky word, refers to the middle value or a typical value of the data. And it's measured by using the mean, median, or mode. The mean is the average. We always say mean is the average of a set of numbers. You find the mean by adding all numbers and then you divide by how many numbers are in that data set. The median is just the middle number when the numbers are ordered from greatest to least, or vice versa, least to greatest. If there are two middle numbers, so if you have an even, this is talking about even set of numbers, the median is the average, or what's another word for average? The mean of the two numbers. The mode. Mode sounds like most often, so it's the number you see the most. There can be no mode, or there can be more than one mode. And we'll see an example of that later. The range is the highest number, so the biggest number, subtracted or minus the smallest number. And finally, this is our last vocab word, a number in the data set that is much higher or lower than most of the numbers is called an outlier. And that's something when you're like, wow, how did they even get that number? That's just outrageous. So definitely higher, definitely lower. Alright, so now we got two problems and then we're done. For example 1. Susie Q's grades for this 6 weeks so far are 96, 87, 75, 96, and 66. Find the mean, median, mode, and range of her grades. If she wanted to impress her parents with her average, which measure of central tendency, there's that funky word again, central tendency, it's just talking about which one of these would she want to use. So helpful hint. You'll have to go to the next page real fast to fill this in. I'm sorry. Flip over on the back. It says, your helpful hint, your first hint is to put the numbers in order. Next, find the median, mode, and range. Do this first. Save the mean for last because it takes longer and maybe you'll get lucky and figure out the answer without finding the mean. So that's just our helpful hint for you. How to work this out? Well, we need to go back on your sheet. If you look at it, let's list our numbers in order. So what's the smallest number? Well, the smallest number is 66. And then you have 75. You can pause this and do it yourself. Then you have 87, 96, and then 96 again. Alright, so I've listed my numbers in order from least to greatest, just like that was our first hint. The mean, remember you saved the mean for last. Well, the mode. Mode is super easy. Which number do you see the most often? Well, I see I have two 96s, so my mode is going to be 96. Mode, most often. The median is the middle number. Now, if you had Miss Sorrells last year, I know that we talked about the rainbow method. So you have the rainbow method or the crossout method. I like the rainbow method. So I'm going to connect these two. And then you connect these two. And when you have your one number left over in the middle, that's how you know it's your middle number. Okay, so our middle number is 87. You can only find the median if you list your numbers in order from greatest to least. If you do not list them in order from greatest to least, your median will be completely wrong. Alright, next we have the range. That's almost the last one. The range, remember, if you look at your vocab at the top, it's the highest number minus the lowest number. Well, if we list our numbers in order, that's easy. Our highest number is 96. Our lowest number is 66. 96 minus 66 is 30. So our range is 30. Alright, last we saved the meanest for last because it's the mean and it's the meanest. You have to add up all your numbers first. So if we add them all up, we have 66 plus 75 plus 87 plus 96 plus 96. Now I want you to pause this and I want you to add these up by yourself. Alright, so if you added this up correctly, you should have got 420. Well, 420 doesn't really sound right. So I know I forgot a step. My step that I forgot was to divide. Well, what do you divide by, Miss Hitchcock? You divide by the number of items you added together. We added 5 together, so I'm going to divide by 5. 5 can go into 420. Well, 5 can go into 4 0 times. 5 can go into 42. How many times? 8. 5 can go into 20. How many times? 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Subtract. Your mean is 84. Now, if you remember, if we go back, the question asks, which measure of central tendency should she use if she wanted to impress her parents with her average? Well, think about it. Which one of these grades would you want to show your parents for your average? Well, duh, you always want to show your parents an A, so you'd show the mode. So the answer would be mode 96. Okay? Alright, pretty simple. I bet you could do this one yourself, but we're going to do it together. So, you'll need to find all 4 mean, median, mode, and range to answer the following problem. Remember your helpful hint from the last example. So, the helpful hint was, remember, we listed in order and then we do the mean last. Julie read every day during the summer. She kept a journal of how many pages she read each day. The number of pages she read in the last 7 days is, actually, and we're going to take this number out. We're going to take that number out, so don't even pay attention to it. If it's not crossed out on your paper, cross it out. So the number of pages she read in the last 7 days is 10, 23, 52, 18, 5, and 60. So, we know, if we took that number out, we don't need this number now. We know we have to put it in order. So if we put it in order, we have 5, then 10, then 18, then 23, then 52, and finally 60. So maybe like she took off a day on like Sunday. I don't know. Maybe she just didn't want to read that day. So let's think about what do we want to do first. Well, mode's pretty simple. Do we see anything that appears most often? No. So this would be an example when we had no mode. Now, you can't put 0 because if you put 0, it makes it look like you have a bunch of zeros in your data. And we don't have a bunch of zeros in our data. So we have to make sure we put no mode. Alright? Mean, save the mean for last because it's mean. The median is your middle number, remember? So we do the rainbow method. Those two connect. These two connect. Okay, these two connect. And I don't have anything in the middle right here. So how do I do it? Well, if you look back, flip over to the other side. And if you see, it says, if there are 2 middle numbers, the median is the average of the 2. So the average, remember, you have to add them up. So 18 and 23. 18 plus 23, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 41. Then we have to divide by 2. 41 divided by 2 is 20.5. Okay? And you can do all that math yourself. But you'll get 20.5. I think of money when I think of $41. I think of $20.50. Okay, your range. 60 minus 5. Remember, because it's the biggest minus the smallest. Don't do smallest minus biggest. You'll get a negative number. 60 minus 5 is 55. So your range is 55. Now the mean. We have to add up all these numbers. So we have to add up 5, 10, 18, 23, 52, 60. Now I want you to pause it and add these up real fast. You should have got 168. So now that we have 168, that doesn't even make sense because she didn't read 168 pages. So we know we forgot something, which we forgot to divide by how many we have. If you divide 168 by 6 and you do everything right, you should get 28 pages. So the average number of pages she read was 28. Alright, so now we filled in all of our data. Well, now we have to read this question. Which of the following statements about Julie's data is true? Prove your answer. Well, proving our answer would be just working out this stuff up here. The mean is greater than the range. Well, the mean was 28. The range was 55. The mean is not greater than the range, so that's not true. The range is 50. Well, no, our range is 55, so that's not true. The median, what was our median? 20.5 is less than the mean. Ooh, our mean was 28, so is 20.5 less than the mean? So far, yeah. Let's check this one. The median, which was 20.5, is greater than the range, which was 55. Is 20.5 greater than 55? No, that's wrong. So you know your correct answer has to be C. Okay, we kind of flew through this because you got a lot of this last year, so just remember to go do the problems on the Google Doc right now and hit submit. Please hit submit so we do not have to give you lunch D-Haul tomorrow. I hope you have a great night and we'll see y'all in class tomorrow. Bye.